Humans are terrifying. Lock in.
What makes humans terrifying? We're not the strongest or fastest animal, and we're definitely not the biggest. So what makes us scarier than anything in history? At first, I thought it was because we're smart, but after spending hours researching human nature and what humans have done, the horror of humans goes much deeper than I thought.
I don't think we're scary because we're smart. I think we're scary because we understand ourselves on a deeper level of consciousness and are capable of, having bad intentions that could hurt other people, like societally through war or cults or whatever it may be.
Let's take ancient humans for example. Ancient humans used persistent hunting to tire their prey out over a long period of time, until they simply couldn't run away anymore. Just the fact that we have 2 legs alone makes us prime for running, but we also sweat a lot more than other animals, which cools our body significantly, allowing us to run a lot further. Humans can eat just about anything for nutrients, but if we can't find food, that's okay as well, because the body will eat the fat inside itself to stay upright.
I mean, but that's a lot of the things that other animals have as well, like omnivorous animals that burn fat. That's every animal that burns fat for survival, but that doesn't, now we're just getting a history lesson on human biology. I think we're more scary from other animals' perspectives because we're able to use the environment around us to aid us to kill other animals. Other animals rely on their own, bodies to fight and survive, but we fight and survive through making clothing and weaponry.
What's sad is usually at the end of these hunts, it ends with an animal just straight giving up. When an animal simply can't cool down by sweating or efficiently run like humans can, they get tired and they eventually just stop and lay down, accepting that they have lost. This is horrifying. After the animal gives up, the human can simply just finish it off without a fight because the animal cannot move. The animal frantically tries to run away, but its legs fail them, and as the human gets closer, its fate is sealed. The human has won.
That's like really old levels of hunting, though, to just basically run an animal down until it's fucking just exhausted so they could kill it, because that's really bad energy conservation wise individually. Like hunting today is just all about stealth and just waiting. Other animals do that too. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. Like cheetahs have bursts of energy, so they don't. But it's like a lot of lion and wolf packs will just run animals down until they get tired.
Absolute relentlessness that humans portray when they hunt is so terrifying to me. But humans aren't the only persistence hunters in the animal kingdom. However, our scariness goes far, far beyond persistent hunting, because hunting was important in ancient times. But now, we've brought humanity far past the times of fire and stones, and we've become very aware of the true atrocities of humankind.
Humans have committed the fucking mental warfare of trench. Dude, learning about World War I feel like when you're in history class, you perceive it as boring because it's like not modern war, but it's fucking horrifying. The idea that you're just sitting in a trench getting fucking barraged by artillery over and over, getting instantaneous trauma, and then when the fucking firing stops, you know that they're running across the fucking no man's land to come run in your hole and kill you. So you just hear sounds nonstop. You can't sleep. You actually kind of expect death. Then it just stops out of nowhere. And that means now you got to get ready to fucking pick up a gun and shoot the people that are coming across the fucking, quarter-mile gap in between the two of you.
Much of their own atrocities amongst themselves throughout history, in ways much more brutal than we could imagine.
Yeah, chemical warfare, too. On top of that, you see a fucking cloud. Dude, World War I had to be the worst war to be. Not the worst war. I mean, you can't really compare wars to be a part of and which would be horrible, but, like, God, dude, the trauma of fucking living through World War I would be horrible.
But will we ever fully unite? And if so, how terrifying?
Oh, my God, or D-Day? Fuck, that's a battle.
Can we be? In the case of an alien invasion, aliens might not be ready for the destruction that humans could inflict on them. Imagine coming to an alien world called Earth and being attacked straight away by a horde of small running creatures that are somehow smart enough to inherit the planet they live on. And to
this guy's on fucking meth. You think that aliens would not expect, bro, if they find us, they can kill us. If they have the technology to get to fucking Earth, they're most definitely able to defend themselves from humans.
Have manipulated metal and chemicals into weapons of mass destruction that can blow up entire lands of mass in seconds.
You could argue that maybe there's a species that lives on another planet that's all, gathering energy from just photosynthesis. They don't need to kill each other to survive, so they never develop that survivability aspect that's required. But at that sense, there's no real advancement or need to develop technologically. So the odds that that species would then become intelligent and advanced enough to leave their own home planet and find ours to just be peaceful and oblivious to the fact that we might just blow them up is like so unlikely. It's more likely that they would be just a weird altered version of like another, you know, survivability based species, not looking like us, obviously living in different conditions, but like find the survival need to have a larger brain or larger computing process to where they're able to invent and use this surrounding environments where they could advance and come find us.
And not only do humans manipulate things into weapons, our entire existence itself is owed to endurance and determination. When we have a sight in mind, we do not stop until that goal is accomplished. Our actual fighting capacities are barbaric. We can take extreme damage to our insides and lose half our blood and live on. But we also fight with such tenacity and endurance that might not even be conceivable to an alien species. That's a human for you. Pure.
Bro, we're like the weakest fucking... I understand what he's saying, and he's like, they have so much tenacity. They can fight and survive. Bro, we die to almost any animal in hand-to-hand combat. Like any predatory animal in hand-to-hand combat. They're fucking mauling us to death. Like, we're scary because we're intelligent enough to, you know, use that intelligence to harm others in ways that are shocking, right? Like genocide. Right, I feel like that's like human innovation leading towards disaster, right? Not fucking, oh, an individual human so scary because they're tenacious.
But what were the worst things humans have ever been through? Massive war crimes like the Holocaust and many other smaller overlooked events have shown just how messed up humans can be towards themselves. I mean, at a certain point, at some times, the biggest threat to humanity wasn't a massive asteroid or earthquake, but instead, well, ourselves. But our species has serious...
It still is. The scariest thing to a human is another human. Not outside of like fucking philosophical existential threats of like what was my purpose in life. It's like all the things that you're afraid of are other people. Like you're not living your day-to-day life, at least in the United States. I can't say for like other third world countries, but like you're not living your day-to-day life genuinely worried that you're going to get mauled to death by an animal. You live in the UK and you're worried you're going to get stabbed on the bus by some fucking crazy person that wants to rob you. You know, you live in the United States, you're worried that you're going to go to school and get fucking shot in the head by some psychopath, right? You're worried that you're going to fucking walk down the street and get killed. Like, that's the fears that humans have. It's not of random fucking mountain lions. It's like, yes, maybe that does exist, like if you're walking, you know, in an area that's infested with snakes. But, like, every day-to-day life, your worry is more geared towards ourselves.
Endured unbelievable challenges. For example, in medieval times, the Black Death casually just killed off roughly half of all humans on Earth in just 5 years, which if you think about it is absolutely insane. Imagine living in that time where essentially everybody was dying. Other early human pandemics like the Plague of Justinian during 541 CE killed roughly 30% of the population at that time. And there has been a plethora of other major extinction plagues throughout history, all of which...
Extinction plagues? I would say COVID was a massive pandemic that did kill a lot of people, but I would not put COVID-19 on the extinction level that the bubonic plague had, or malaria. Yeah, influenza, smallpox, like way more. That was like, or dude, I mean, the infection rate was much less, but like the death rate of like Ebola, if y'all remember that.
Which we endured and survived. Things like the Black Death seriously threatened humanity as a species. If our ancestors didn't valiantly push...
Yeah, COVID was a bad pandemic, but it was not going to kill all humans. Like, there was a fear that the bubonic plague would, like, literally wipe out humanity.
And survive these mass extinction events, we would not be here right now. But that's what makes us so scary, is the ability to come out and repopulate or remake what we lost after it's done. over and over again. But as I said, humans' biggest threat is unfortunately ourselves, as our differences in ideals and belief leads to the biggest conflicts in history, which leads to creating terrifying machines of destruction that lead to more casualties than should be humanely possible. And trust me when I say, humans just love creating machines of destruction. The rods—
I hate how all of human innovation is directly driven by competition and war. And that, like, a lot of the things that we use today are found through war, which is, like, I guess a positive of a horrible negative. But, like, even things in exploration and science, like, we don't put enough money into scientific advancements because the only thing, nobody does shit for fun on big scale. Like, the only people that do shit for fun are billionaires, and they just do it for themselves, not humanity. It's like, if you ever wanted to accomplish anything remotely, like, out of this inner world that we live in on Earth, you have to have a war-based motivation or a financial motivation to do so. Like, when we went to the moon, we only went to the moon because the Russians were going to the moon. You're going back to the moon now because the Chinese people are going to the moon now. Like, we're not going to the moon because we think it's, like, really cool scientifically and humanity-wise. Like, yes, JFK gave a whole fucking speech about it and said it was awesome and we should hold hands and be peaceful. It was because we didn't like fucking communism, right? We're not going to Mars. Yeah, I think Elon Musk is fucking lying through his teeth when he says we're going to put men on Mars by fucking 2028 or whatever he fucking said. Because there's no reason to go to fucking Mars. If you're a fucking SpaceX employee, or not employee, investor, like privately, or you own a fraction of a company that wants to send people to Mars, they're never going to do that because it's going to cost $1 trillion and there's no financial return. It's literally a for fun trip. So we'd be raising literally $1,000 billion to go to Mars. It's not a technology thing. A lot of people think we can't get to Mars. We could get to Mars right now. We would just need 3 months, however long it takes, a month to design the shit, 2 months to design the shit, and then however long it fucking takes, 3, 4, 6 months to get to fucking Mars. You'd be the first people on fucking Mars instantly. We could get there, right? There's just no reason to go. Now, if you found gold on Mars, people would be like, oh, hell yeah, let's go to fucking Mars. But if Russia for some reason went to Mars, if Russia for some reason tomorrow openly said they had plans to go to Mars, we would go to Mars. Even in the financial shitty situation the U.S. is in right now, we would fucking scrounge up the money to go to Mars to beat the Russians. Even without the Cold War today, we would do it, right? Or if China wanted to do it, like, we would do it. But that's the only reasons. Is either, hey, there's something that's profitability-wise, we're going to do it, or B, war, and we have to kill other people, or flex our muscles against communism, right? That's why, like, I hate that all the, not all, but a lot of the advancements we make are off of that. Side note, I also don't like how the entire U.S. economy is based off the fucking AI bubble and whether or not we're banking that it's going to pay off, because if it doesn't, we're all fucked. And I mean fucked. Fucked. The top 7 stocks in the United States are all off of AI, all banking off of AI, right? And if it doesn't work, even if you don't fucking invest into it, it would crash the U.S. economy if it fails. Like, if all this effort, all this debt that these companies are doing, all this money they're putting into the shit is just for nothing. And even not just, I feel like a lot of people are like, maybe the U.S. Yes, the U.S. would be really fucked, but all countries would be fucked because a lot of countries are basing their own finances off of the U.S. dollar and have a lot of their own stocks that they keep in U.S. companies. Like a lot of Nordic countries that have a lot of surplus that keep that for their citizens, which is fucking awesome. They do that, and we don't even fucking have that, and the U.S. wants to copy that, but we can't because we're in crippling debt. They keep a lot of their money in the U.S. economy.
The Rods of God was a concept where we would launch 20 feet long massive rods of tungsten into orbit and drop them from space onto a target at a massive speed, forcing a collision that rivals the impact of nuclear bombs. I could only imagine seeing a massive tungsten bar falling from space towards me. And ridiculously enough, the concept was only dropped because it was too expensive and not practical, not because it was inhumane. We are great at destruction, and we actively try our hardest to protect from and destroy, well, each other. Aliens would probably also realize just how fast humans have grown as a species. 200 years ago, humans didn't have railroads.
Bro, 200 years ago, fucking Dude, the U.S. population has, or not the U.S., the world population has almost tripled in the last 80 years. Like, people, there are so many people on Earth now compared to the 1920s or 30s or 40s.
125 years ago, airplanes didn't exist either. 75 years ago, we didn't have spaceflight. 35 years ago, we didn't have the internet. We've already pretty much inherited the Earth, and next it will be the stars and whatever comes after that. And if anything tries to get in our way, we will annihilate.
I don't think we're going to the fucking stars. I think that's like, it's what we all think. I at some point, do I think humans will invest in going to otherworldly, like, adventures? Yes. But only if there's like a need, financial or war base, or destruction. That was the third one. If a meteor's gonna come kill everybody on Earth, we'll fucking leave, right? Or the rich people will leave. But that'll be like the scenarios. Or we're so, like, I don't think we would leave Earth until we perfect Earth so well that we're not living in a utopia, but like we have effectively almost infinite energy for anything we need to do on planet, and no problems of food sources or like structural buildings or technological advancements. Like we could do so much more shit on Earth first before leaving. Yeah, when we're type 1 civilization, we fully encapsulated Earth's energy.
Our technological growth is nothing to sneeze at, because it's only growing more and more as time passes. AI is now growing at exponential rates. Spaceflight is resuming soon, and medical technology is so good we've increased our lifespan by almost 50 years since ancient times. Our growth is insane. While we might have the technology to drop asteroid-like attacks on ourselves, what happens when something like an asteroid really does come attacking Earth? Well, fear not, because we somehow have that covered.
Fix Earth, it's already broken, my guy. Hence the word fix Earth.
As well. Astonishingly, NASA just accomplished what I believe to be the most insane thing in a long time. I mean, I was seriously baffled when I saw this. The first ever successful attempt at combating potentially dangerous asteroids was succeeded by NASA's DART mission in 2022, when NASA intentionally slammed a spacecraft into an asteroid as humanity's first planetary test of defense. The asteroid Dimorphos was roughly 6.8 million miles away from Earth at the time, and the spacecraft hit the asteroid at 13,000 miles per hour upon collision. The crater left on the asteroid in mid-space was about 33 feet across, and we, as humans, successfully directed an asteroid orbit period by an entire 32 minutes. We shot something across the
Okay, yeah, we altered it 32 minutes.
Asteroid mid-orbit. That is confounding. Space is such an invisible boundary for humans. It's sheer
I always say, like, when it was like Don't Look Up, that movie about the asteroid that was gonna hit Earth, I really do believe if we had like 5 years, like if right now you're like, you have 5 years, this big ass asteroid's gonna fucking kill everybody on Earth, I think we would figure it the fuck out. I think all money in the world would go to funding means of stopping that from happening. No chance. I think we'd fucking redirect that shit. Oppenheimer smoking a goddamn cigarette made a nuclear bomb in fucking 3 years, right? With a bunch of people. 4 years, however long that shit took in the middle of Texas. And that was a hidden project. Now you have the whole world putting their fucking minds together. I think they figure it out. Would it be hard? Yeah. I'm not saying I'm going to be the brains behind it, but I think all the money would go towards it.
But slowly, surely, us humans are poking at the veil. We are held back by a glass ceiling that is space travel. One day, we might even be able to make it to another planet or another star, because we are so mortifyingly growing that our potential will shatter the glass ceiling without looking back. And once this happens, the universe will truly be afraid of our potential. But I've been holding back on talking about one specific thing because it truly is the most terrifying thing about humans. That one thing is our curiosity, our unwavering desire to explore pretty much anything. We want to conquer everything that we don't already have possession of. We want to conquer mountains so we can climb every one that looks impossible, and some of us die in the process simply for the sake of doing it. We travel to space because we feel claustrophobic on the already massive Earth and want more to conquer, explore, and experience. We find every nook and cranny of every possible spot that we can so we know we're not missing out, and we love every second doing it. If I were an alien alien that came to Earth, I would be afraid, as humans would likely uncover me by accident and find me interesting and take me in for human investigation. The human is a capsule of creativity, a capsule of spirit and courage, and we leave our mark in every possible way we can for the people that will be here after we are gone, because we feel that it is important to say hello. And
I heard Mount Rushmore, side note, I love what he's saying. I heard Mount Rushmore is like unbearably overrated. In like what you drive like 5 hours to go see it, pull up and you're like, oh. And then you leave. And I've never heard somebody be like, damn, I loved Mount Rushmore. They're always like, yeah, you know, it was 4 big heads on a rock.
we will continue to explore and conquer until we have
And they're not that big.
fully, and I mean fully, exhausted every last urge to conquer in our DNA. And until then, whatever stands in our way will either have to move aside or be annihilated. And we do this all under the conception that we have no idea why we are on a rock in the middle of space with a conscious mind. We were plotting.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of science. One of the coolest things is like we advance scientifically, but we don't advance purpose-based wise. Like every generation, a human can hand down their knowledge and their advancements to their kid to give them a better starting point. Like that's the goal. Like every generation, your kid starts off better than you, not just financially, but like scientifically, philosophically, or not philosophically, intelligence wise, like what we know, they're able to learn quicker, right? And obtain more. But every generation, you also reset that purpose, right? Like everybody has an individual purpose and philosophical reason that they're here and like what they want to achieve. But you can't hand that off once you figure it out. You can hand everything else off, you know, advancements that you make individually or societally, you know, what you learn, you can pass down to your kids, but like you can't hand over like your meaning, your purpose. And a lot of people try, but it's like, that's something that's like truly individual to one person. You can hand off knowledge, but you can't hand off purpose. And so that's another thing that I think drives people is like you want that advancements because you crave that curiosity for knowledge, which is what we share as a middle grounds between the two, right? Finding individual purpose, also advancing scientifically, kind of loop back to the same goal of like, what the fuck's happening? Trying to figure that out.
Onto this space rock and took control of it in a blink of an eye. We pushed forward in the name of our biology and as the only animal capable of self-reflection and complex consciousness. But with this consciousness, we are cursed by our own minds to be forced against the unknown universe. Humans aren't just terrifying. We are lonely and terrified. We are forced against the scary void of the unknown world and the universe as we try to survive every day. We have every right to be afraid of the universe and want to give up. So then why do we continue no matter what? Why do we somehow pull through the most dire circumstances? I'll say it again and again, because us humans are persistent. We are absurd and we are great. We persevere even in the face of the terrifying and unknown universe. In the face of absurdity, in the face of the unknown, we continue to strive and proceed to push forward regardless of the outcome. Because we are relentless and we are terrifying. O universe tremble, for Mother Earth has birthed an unforgiving force, and it looks upon you wanting. We are matter that decided to wake up one day. We are significant and beautiful that no matter what stands in our way, we shall push forward in the name of humanity, to write one more story in the seemingly pointless tale of history. We will continue to breathe our breaths and become a force so reckoning that not even the Mother Universe could hold a candle to our grit. We will forge a new path throughout time and mark the name Homo sapien deep within the cosmos as a crucial point in history. As a species so terrifying that we forced our way.
Damn, I hope we fucking mark our species history in the cosmos, because it would be really upsetting if like all is for naught and humanity goes extinct. You know, like the world's gonna fucking explode one day, but like that would really blow if we fucking all kill each other.
Through catastrophe, and arose so valiantly we cried aloud with passion and determination. Humans are terrifying.
I did like that video. That was very fun to watch. Longer transition from broadswords to iron swords, then it took us to transition from iron swords to nukes. Yeah, it is rampant growth. It's compounding or exponential growth, rather. That was a fucking awesome stream. We had a great chat today. Great vibe.